Hi everyone, it's Denise again with another of my charcoal drawings of children, this time a little boy in profile. I start with the vine charcoal, of course, to to lay in my foundation, my anchor points and all of that. The way I got started drawing these children's faces was in the university. I majored, of course, in children's book illustration, and we had fairly little, well, 1 week of actually drawing children, which is somehow wrong. I complained about it, and they agreed, but they're not going to change the policy for me, no doubt. And so if I wanted to draw children's faces, children's hands, I was going to have to challenge myself to do it myself. So I made myself a challenge, a 100-day challenge. So for 100 days, I drew one child's face every single day. So here I'm fixing up my my drawing. The dog is very upset because neighbors are moving in next door. Checking the parameters and making sure his features match the photograph. Yeah, the greatest difficulty in doing 100 days of children was finding enough photographs of children. I started stopping people in the parking lot. Could I photograph your child? Not looked at real kindly most of the time. So now I've switched over to the 2B pencil. The 2B will not erase, as well as the vine charcoal, of course. No matter what you do, there's still going to be a mark on the page. So everything needs to be laid out pretty well in the vine charcoal first, and then I go over it with the 2B. So I have to be pretty confident that's where the lines, where I want them to stay by this point. So here I've gotten my kneaded gum eraser out to sharpen some of the edges. Those kneaded gum erasers, really a great tool. It pulls the charcoal directly up off the paper and doesn't leave any little, eraser fallout, which would not work out well for a charcoal drawing, since if you wipe your hand across it, it's going to smudge. The eraser picks it up and holds it. That's why these erasers turn black eventually. I've switched over to the B4 now, and you can see it's much darker. Also, right about here, my camera turned off on me, and I didn't even realize it. So I had completely filled in the background without the camera running. Didn't mean to do that. So now I've switched over to the B6, and it's really dark and rich and deep, and gives you this lovely black. Very soft pencil. You have to be really careful how you sharpen it and how you hold it. I had started doing the 100 Days of Children's Faces after I had done 100 Days of Hands. And that because one of my professors said that my weakest point was drawing hands, so I figured if I draw a hand a day for 100 days, I couldn't help but get better, right? And it worked for me. It actually did. I improved immensely and felt very much more confident about drawing hands. They are hard, you know. I so loved the process that I carried it on. After that, I did another 100 days of hands and 100 days of feet and 100 days of children's faces. And I would highly recommend to challenge yourself, whatever you feel like your weakest point is. Work on it for 100 days. You can't help it. Get better. To improve. So now I am pulling up with my Kneeded Gum Eraser any of the parts I want to be highlighted with white. Because the thing about white charcoal is you cannot put it over the top of black. It doesn't cover it. It mixes with it and turns a horrible muddy gray. So here's my white. Ready to add my highlights where the sunlight's just glowing off his skin. And a few highlights in the hair and the ears. The ears are funny. They're oily and kind of shiny. They carry more highlights than you would think they would. Few highlights in his hair, and we're just about done. So he needed shadows on his shirt, and then I signed it. And there he is. It's only meant to be a quick sketch. If you liked this tutorial, please subscribe, and thanks so much for watching. See you next time.